Welcome back. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, you need to go and watch the video before this titled I won the green card lottery. This video is video number 2. In the first video I did ramble on a bit, so we're going to cut it to the chase this time now, hopefully. I want to, in this video, talk about what to do after you get your, well, I've explained how to apply for it in the first place, and checking that you won or didn't win, whatever the case may be. And now we're going to talk about what happens when you do win, and it's a lengthy process after that, but we'll start off with you've checked your little confirmation number, you put it in to the website, and it says congratulations, you have been selected for further processing. Please proceed to fill out your DS260. So that is the form that everyone needs to fill out. It is the immigration form for people moving to America. So you'll be directed to the DS260 and take your time with it. I did not know what I was doing, and I filled it out within 2 hours, skipping and leaving out and randomly making up a whole pile of facts. Just what you need to have your work history, your job history, whatever jobs you've had over the past 10 years. So you need to get all that, those like the address, the phone number, your manager's contact details. Go through the form. When you get there, take your DS260. You can do it now for you at any time, just to get through it and find out all the information you need. What other questions are there? There's questions for like health workers. There's a lot, like you'll have like 5 or 6 pages of questions where you're like, are you a terrorist? Are you going to exploit people in this country? Are you this? Are you that? Like questions no one would answer yes to. So there's a lot of them, and there might be 1 or 2. I think it's like a health worker needs to be licensed to work over in America. So there's just odd questions like that, but you know who you are. And you'll know the requirements. Hopefully you can Google the requirements for you as a health worker. Go find that out, and I think you could answer either yes or no. I don't actually think it'll affect the visa. You can still be there and not work as a health worker. You know, you just need to be licensed. If you're planning on becoming a dentist or something, you have to pass the licensing for America. So there's questions like that. There's like family, personal history questions. A lot of questions about your health. So you can, if you're like me and you just open the DS260, you can open it, read through all the questions, and then maybe don't click save, because what happens when you can click save but not submit. Because what happens to me was I submitted it straight away, and then I had to ask them to unlock it for me, which is something you can do. You can email Kentucky Consular Center, and they will unlock your DS260. Now you have to have 1 DS260 per person on your derivatives. So 1 DS260 per person, and you specify which one you need to be unlocked to fill in that information. So go ahead and do that, and just have a look and see if you need anything specifically filled out for it. One question that comes up for a lot of people is the vaccinations. You need to have a list of vaccinations to get into America. I don't even fully understand it yet, because I'm still at the phase where I just sent in my DS260. I'm still waiting for my medical. I do know I don't have a lot of the vaccinations because I haven't been required to do them previously. Like say for if you were ever working there before, if you're living there right now, which you can also do. If you're in America, you can apply for the green card lottery, say if you're there on a different visa. You just need to be careful, because if you're on a work visa, you're on a non-immigrant visa, and this is an immigrant visa, so you're declaring your intention to move to the United States and become permanent residents, which will affect your status if you're on your H-1B visa, or say if you want to reapply next year, they'll be like, well, you were intending to move here last year, so we want to know. Say if you don't get your green card visa, it's not a big thing. It's not something, again, I know a lot about, but I do know that it's like adjustment of status is what it's called, and I'll leave a link in the down bar below for you to go and have a look at some of the resources if that's something that you're under consideration for. But you can do your adjustment of status. I'm kind of going all over the place. So coming back to the DS260, you can apply, yeah, so you fill that out. You have to just answer, get a piece of paper, write down all the questions, write down everything you need to know, and find this information before you sit down and fully fill out the form and submit it. Just so you have everything in order. It does take a little bit of work. Some people take a month to fill it out. Some people, like this idiot, fill it out in 4 hours and just get And my piece of advice is, particularly when it comes to filling out your education requirements, which is they want to know what schools you've been to and what you've done, and they'll ask you for the phone number from the secondary school you were in, which for me was like, that was like 2004, 2005. Like, I don't even remember. So you just get all that information, and the same with your jobs where you've worked over the past 10 years. Have it all handy so that it's easy and stress-free for you to do it. And what I wanted to say was, when you fill in, say you've your first job filled in, like some people, I had like 5 different places that I wanted to put in. Save the form after you fill in the first block, the first job. So it'll have you the name, the address, the manager, the duties, whatever. Save that. Go down and save at the bottom of the page, and then go back up and do the next one. Because what happened to me about 4 times, not the smartest cookie, but again, I hadn't been using the form before, is I would put in, like, I'd get as far as halfway through the 3rd job, and then it would say, there's been no activity on this page for the past 15 minutes, and log me out. And what would happen is I'd have none of that information saved, so I'd have to go back in and start again. So this is a tip that I haven't heard anyone else say, that I am giving to you, is every time you put in, every couple of bullet points you fill out, go down and click save, so that just in case something happens, your work is saved and you don't have to go back in and refill in all that information over and over again. And the vaccination point, well, I filled in, this is my idea, I filled in yes, because when the time comes, I will have it. That's that. So, if you answer no, they'll be like, well, why don't you have the vaccinations? Or it'll come up as a no. But when I go in for my interview, to sit down for my interview, my vaccinations will be in order. And I plan on having as many of them done. So I was given the advice to go to the doctor and get the vaccinations started now. Tell them what you're going to do, and the doctor should be able to advise you to what to have, so that when you go up to your medical exam, you've had your vaccinations all there on your immunization records. So when you go up for the consular medical, as I'm calling it, the specific place you have to go, because there's only one in every country, the specific places. I know in Ireland we have the one in Dublin. I don't know anywhere else, and there's only one place. I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but if you can, you should be able to go and find out. Google it or ask a question on a forum somewhere. Someone will answer it for you, because there's lots of people. BritSimonSays.com is a very valuable forum for people who need to find out this information. I went on Google and I found out that way. Mater Hospital in Dublin is where I have to go for my medical, and I plan on having my immunization records with me and up to date, so that he doesn't have to give me any immunizations or there's no problems. Or if there is a problem, he can correct it and it won't be a big deal, like you have a big whole pile of health problems. So your DS260, that's what you need to do with it. Fill it out, take your time, look through everything. You can send it off and then have it unlocked. Preferably don't unlock it. Get it done. We can unlock it once or twice, but my interview is going to be, I think it's going to be after December at this point. We don't know. But say you might be very low numbered, so you might be 1st of October is when you could be expecting yours. Just have it ready. You know, this is not something for you to dawdle about on and change your mind with 10 times. They are what they are. You worked here, you went to school there, you don't have this, you do have that. Just put it in, get it done. So I have drilled it into your head about the DS260. Your medicals and your documentation for the DS260. So I won't talk about the documentation for the medical. I won't talk about too much about that, except that you need an x-ray, you need blood tests, it depends on where you're from in the world. I believe there's different particular procedures for each person. So for each country. So for me anyways, I'll need my x-ray and my bloods and just general health, and you know, I don't have any health problems, so I don't have anything to talk about. Yeah, that's the medical side of things. And to have your documentation in order, and if you have any questions about, like, oh, I don't know, do I have this or do I have that, put it in the question comments below, and I will come back and answer it. I will tell you where to go, or what to do, or how to deal with it as best I can, as a person that is just starting the process myself and investigating it. And that's all I have to say about that until the time comes when I have to get ready for my medical, which will hopefully be around Christmas sometime of 2018. The visa bulletin. Okay, can't stress the importance of the visa bulletin, which comes out it's a newsletter that comes out. If you go up to Google, type in visa bulletin US immigration, just in case you get some other random visa bulletin for something else. But I think generally visa bulletin will bring you to the US visa bulletin, which is a newsletter that they bring out on the 15th of every month, and it will it relates to the DS lottery because it tells you when the case numbers, what case numbers are current. Current, you will understand this, and it's very important for you to understand. It means when you are up for the interview. So they'll have, we say case number 1 to 5,000 will be current. That's just, I'm just making up random figures. 1 to 5,000 will be current. So our visas DS 2019 or DV 2019 starts on the 1st of October, and it's the first 5,000 people. So if your number is within the first 5,000 people for Europe or the first 5,000 people for America, it will specify which region you're in, because there's only maybe 1,200 people in Oceania, in Australia and New Zealand and those countries. So they're not going to get 5,000 people. They'll have, I think they do it like in 200 increments, whereas we're within EU, we can go up in 2,000 to 3,000 increments, because there's a lot more people and there's a lot more embassies and a lot more happening. So the work gets done a lot quicker. So the visa bulletin, the first one for me, will come out in August. And it will be the first of the DV 2019. So July, as it is today, is the 25th, 26th of June. So the DV 2018 people are waiting for their final visa bulletin to happen in July. And in that final visa bulletin, it will tell them the final numbers for people that will be interviewed in September. So this is a 2-month ahead process. So we are getting, DV 2019 is getting its first visa bulletin in August for the first round of interviews in October. So we have 2 months notice. So if by some miracle my case number, which I'll get to next, shows up in the first visa bulletin, which you probably won't because I'm up near 12,000 people, it will tell me my interview is coming up in October, and I can start to get my police clearance, I can start to get my vaccination records done. You will need your 2NL, which I don't know if I got to explain. I might do another video because there's other bits and I'm already up near 15 minutes. You need to get your letter saying you are scheduled for interview on, we'll say, the 21st of October. So you need that, and then you contact the doctor to get your medical done. It comes out the 15th then of every month. The visa bulletin will come out the 15th of every month, and that is when you should go on the 15th, scurry in online. Now, I've been told you can get it as an email. I have tried several times to get them to send it to me to subscribe to the visa bulletin. I've failed to have that happen. So I've just kind of submitted just going and checking every month. But if you have an interest in keeping yourself up to speed with your, you know, if you're interested in your green card, you will keep it on your mind. And as I said, I don't actually expect my number to appear until maybe October. The visa bulletin in October. And if you're so high up, you're near the 30,000 or 40,000 in EU, you can wait till next year. Don't panic about anything. Start saving your money. So that's your visa bulletin, your case number, The CN, okay, I don't know if I've explained it, but I'll explain it again. Case number is so it starts with 2019. So some people are still waiting for interviews for 2018, and 29 people are all getting ready to start waiting for their interviews for 2019. It's 2019, and then the EU is, for me, the European region. Every region will have different letters in front of it. I think I did explain it. Anyway, after your EU, you have usually a couple of zeros, maybe 2 or 3 zeros, depending on where your number is, you know. Usually they go up as far as like 50,000, so I have 3 zeros in front of mine, so I think I have 7 zeros in total, but there could be 7 digits in total, but someone in like the Oceania region might have 5 zeros because their numbers are always quite low. So then it's literally 12, 13, 14, 20,000. Some people are in the 5,000 range, very low, expecting their interview a lot sooner. So, and those numbers are randomly assigned. They're not assigned, it doesn't matter how early in the October, November slot you sent it in. They take all of the applications together, throw them all into a big electronic drum, and randomly pull them out. And as they're pulled out, they get assigned numbers. Okay, that is how it works. And then you have what's called a hold. So there isn't actually going to be 12,000 people in for an interview before me. You have a lot of times where there's people that have applied, don't need it anymore, forgot they applied for a green card, the lottery, don't want the green card lottery anymore. They've already got their visa into America, or they're not interested in going anymore. Or you have people that apply multiple times. You can't do that. Do not do that. If they see your information showing up more than once, it'll immediately knock both your personal one and any other repeating ones. It'll knock them out. You'll be disqualified. So that'll be the end of it. But you'll still have been assigned case numbers, and that means that all those numbers will just disappear off of the computer. So you could have, say if someone falsely entered 10 times, those 10 case numbers will have disappeared from the system. That leaves a hole. So I don't actually know. That's why it's very hard to tell you exactly when it's going to when your interview will come up. It's one of the difficulties that you'll only really conceive as you start getting more interested in it. And now I've rambled on and on and on for a few minutes. If something has confused you, or if I've left out, say, half a sentence, as I am likely to do, please ask the question in the comments. But that's your case number, and that's how it works. You have your DS260, take your time with it. Your visa bulletin at the 15th of every month. Go along and check it, and it will tell you if your case number is current, which means it's up for review. I think that's it, everyone. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you know when I'm putting out new videos. Don't forget to leave a comment or a query below, and if you like these videos and you want to see more of them, give me a thumbs up.